has origins in this film from that drunk Santa we saw on the float.
100%.
And by the way, Parker, I hope you haven't seen that film.
I have not.
That is great.
Don't.
Next weekend.
Welcome to Holiday Film Countdown. I'm Jamie Walter, and today we are going to New York.
That's right. This film is Miracle on 34th Street, our 6th ranked holiday film. Hello, I'm Tim Walter. As if there was ever any doubt, St. Nicholas, Kris Kringle, and Santa Claus are real.
Our first guest is Parker Butler. Hi, Parker. Please let us know what you're drinking and give us a quick thought on Miracle on 34th Street.
Hello, I'm drinking a Pacific Cooler Capri Sun today.
All right.
The best one. It was a very good movie. Yeah, really fun. Glad I watched it.
Excellent. And our other guest is Scott Butler. Scott, what are you drinking? And what's your initial thought on this film?
I'm following Parker's lead and having a Capri Sun, which I don't normally do. We had Guinness during the movie, but toning it down here for the podcast part. I love this movie. I loved it as a kid. It's been decades since I've seen it, and it lived up to what I had built up in my mind. It's just perfect nostalgia. Yeah, what a beautiful film. I love it. It's slow. You compare it to things that are, more current, fast-paced. I like a slow-moving movie.
All right. And I am drinking Cafe au lait HEB coffee. Houston flavor is my favorite, which is a little ironic because I'm from Houston. But my quick thought on the film is that it has a little bit of everything. It makes me laugh. At times I feel a little sad. And there's also a good love story, which I always like going on in there. And to me, it has it all.
All right. And earlier I joined Scott with the Guinness. And now I've moved on to a Pecan Porter 512 Brewing Company. Excellent. We're shooting for the beers that you cannot see through today. That was our goal because this is a cozy film. And I'll say that this film is number 6 because it's quality through and through. We're winning multiple Academy Awards here. And after doing all these 40s films, we needed to introduce Santa Claus to the world of Christmas movies. And the world bought in and made many, many more.
Yes, they did. Well, Miracle on 34th Street was released in 1947. This story was written by Valentine Davies, and he was rewarded for his efforts here with an Academy Award win. And yes, Valentine is his birth name.
George Seaton directed Miracle on 34th Street. In addition to directing this film, he also adapted the screenplay from Valentine Davies' story. And for that adaptation, George Seaton won an Academy Award. And later, he also won an Oscar for the screenplay for 1954's The Country Girl. Miracle on 34th Street was filmed on location in New York City. It stars Maureen O'Hara, Edmund Gwenn, and a young Natalie Wood. We will all discuss them and all the rest of the actors and characters in depth later.
Parker, what is your history with Miracle on 34th Street?
This is my first time watching it, and I'm glad I got to watch the black and white one first because I feel like it's just such like a fun time, and it's just like so cool to see all that. Yeah, pretty good.
Good.
All right, and Scott, what's your history with this film?
I remember seeing this movie a bunch of times as a kid. But, I mean, like I said, it's been a long time. I remember it having an impact on me, especially the little nugget at the end. There's this physical evidence that Santa may or may not leave behind, which is the cane that he leaves in the house. I think that really stuck with me. And as I was starting to write stories when I was probably elementary school, I always put that in at the end. Like there was always something that I would put to make it seem magical. I remember writing a story about I think it was Dungeons and Dragons themed. It was all this mystery, but then was it a dream? Was it not a dream? And then there's like a thing at the end of the story that's like, oh, maybe it was real. So small detail, but that always stuck with me. There's just so many great scenes in this film. I mean, we'll get to quotable moments, but it's funny how much it actually did stick with me. I probably haven't seen it since I was like 8.
Wow.
But
okay.
But it really made an impression on you.
It's just, I mean, like what you were saying before, it does have a bit of everything. There's tension, you start to worry about things, but then there's lighthearted moments, there's comedy, there's nostalgia, there's sadness, there's happiness. It's perfect.
Yeah, I agree. I almost feel ashamed to admit this, but I didn't grow up watching this film for some reason. I don't know why. It wasn't on. We didn't have it on. And I was really an adult, young adult, before I really saw some of it. And to be honest, before this podcast, I don't know that I sat down and really watched the whole film till now. And after watching it, I'm like, I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it threw me off because it was older, but I like older films too. So I'm not sure why I didn't watch it, because I do like it and I think it is great. It was a pleasant surprise for me.
Yeah, my history is somewhat similar to Scott's. I was let's say late 70s, early 80s kid as far as flipping the channels and seeing what was on. And I remember running across this film a few times. And this was before all of our modern color holiday movies had emerged. And so if you saw anything with Santa Claus in it, you were going to stop and check it out. And I do remember that mail scene with the Postal Service profoundly. And so I was waiting for that to come. I thought it came earlier in the film, but probably because I had only seen it flipping channels and had missed the beginning. Also interesting about this film, and we'll mention that there was a remake later. When I bought the DVD, and we try to do physical media here, the first order came in and it was a color cover. And I thought, oh, I just made a mistake and ordered the 1994 version. So then I ordered it again in black and white and stuck it in the cabinet. And then when we were prepping to meet with Parker and Scott, I pulled out the DVD and realized, no, I had the original version, black and white and colorized. So when you look at our thumbnail for this one, you'll see 2 DVDs, and that's why.
Right. Maybe we'll talk about this later. Do you know the year of when they colorized this? It wasn't until much later, right? Like 80s?
I don't know when they colorized it. And by the way, we watched the black and white version today. We did not touch the color. And Parker was happy for that.
I'm very excited about that. Is it the same movie? It's just like color and not color?
It is.
Right. So they didn't shoot it in color. So there was a phase.
It was a colorization trend in the maybe 80s when...
Yeah, so they were coloring over it, basically. I don't even know how they do it.
Like drawing on it?
Or
I don't know what the
computerized, maybe, when... It seemed to be like late 80s, maybe, that this started happening.
Yeah, we should look it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the exact same movie. It's just color overlay.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen it that way.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's check out the trailer.
That is the greatest picture I have ever made. And I've got the angle on the trailer. Boys, we've got to get across to the public that picture has everything. Why, it's hilarious. It's romantic. It's tender. It's charming. It's delightful. It's exciting. And it's groovy.
Yes, Mr. Schaefer.
That does it, boss.
Mr. Schaefer, you've got a great idea.
Naturally. Now, I'll tell you what we do.
All right. Well, these old trailers are just something special, really. And this is definitely that. What did you think of that trailer, Parker?
I think they got away with like saying nothing about the actual movie while still like advertising all like the way it makes you feel, I guess. But
Exactly.
it was like sweet. It's like kind of a funny take on just like getting across everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Did it make you want to go watch the movie?
Of course.
You want entertainment. You want to see a love
Yep.
story. You want to laugh, right?
Checking all the boxes.
That's right.
Do you wish you could see a modern film's trailer made the same way?
Honestly, yeah, I feel like a trailer is kind of a place where like the movie's already so produced that you could just like have fun with it. I feel like now it's like trying to make it even more serious in the movie, and that was just like kind of goofy and fun, and yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of the new trailers kind of give a lot of the movie away and show you a lot of it. And these old trailers, they don't do any of that. Sometimes they even do a little separate movie with the trailer that's not even related to the movie that they're trying to advertise. So they're just so interesting, but I like it because it leaves you to your imagination. And just like you said, Parker, it tells you how this movie's going to make you feel.
Yeah, it's wild. When it started, it seemed like they were just going to show us the opening credits. And I
Right.
thought that was just going to be it. We were just going to watch the first minute of the movie. And then to switch to the director and people that made the movie talking about it. I've never seen a trailer like that before. I thought it was really fun, but it made me think that it's almost like you were saying, nowadays, the actual trailers, you feel like you're seeing the whole movie, right?
Right.
But this felt more like what they do now with social media and showing little clips, because we get so much from the people involved in making movies talking about, why they love it. And that wasn't available in the 40s.
Right.
So that was their way to show how proud they were of the movie. Mm-hmm. That was just wild. I've never seen anything like that.
And they kind of get away with it because it was a really quality movie.
Yeah.
You couldn't get away with that with a lesser film, I feel like.
Yeah, it's true.
It was so well made. We'll get into that later, but it lives up to it. In other words, there must have been some thought that the credibility of how good the movie was would help sell it. I don't know, and it's groovy. I mean, they were in the 40s saying groovy. I think they were ahead of their times.
And they spelled groovy with an E.
Yeah, they didn't have it quite down yet, but they knew it was coming. All right. Well, it's time to go inside the numbers. As Jamie mentioned, Miracle on 34th Street premiered in 1947. This movie totaled $2.7 million in ticket sales at the box office. It cost $630,000 to make, so that net profit was around $2 million, meaning they tripled their investment. That's always good. And that $2 million profit in 1947 would equate to around $35 million today, accounting for inflation over time. And here are more numbers. Pay attention to this one because this is unique. We're going one by one. Let's start with the number 2, as in just over 2 miles, which is the length of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Then we have the numbers 3 and 4. 3 is the number of Academy Awards won by Miracle on 34th Street, and 4 is the total number of Academy Award nominations for this film. So remember, Valentine Davies won for original story. George Seaton won for the screenplay adaptation of that story, so that's 2 of the 4 nominations. The other 2 nominations were for Best Supporting Actor and Best Picture. And Edmund Gwenn, who plays Kris Kringle here, won that Best Supporting Actor Oscar. And Miracle on 34th Street did not win Best Picture, however. A movie by the name of Gentleman's Agreement won the 1947 Best Picture Oscar. And we spent time on the Academy Awards discussion because holiday films are rarely part of that discussion. Our next number is the number 5, which is the number of versions of Miracle on 34th Street out there. We have this 1947 version, plus a 1994 remake, and then 3 made-for-television versions for a total of 5. And, by the way, Stephen Janice, director of film programming at the Paramount Theater, gave the 1994 remake his stamp of approval, which is rare because he likes really classic films, and I was surprised that he would say that, but he said it was quality and worth watching. So he likes both in this case. Okay, now let's move on to more numbers, 6 or 7. That is the age Natalie Wood's character, Susan Walker, is supposed to be in this film. And finally, the number 8, which is Natalie Wood's actual age in real life when making this film. And our last number is the Letterboxd score of a 3.8. And we will all give our own Letterboxd scores later on.
I just have to go back to the 2 million profit. I mean, that is a lot for 1947. I'm guessing it didn't, let's see, did you mention how much it cost to make? Yeah, it costs, okay, $630,000 to make. But, movies were cheap to go to. So that was a lot of viewings, right?
I guess what were tickets, 10 cents, 15 cents? I don't know. Right after World War II?
Sure, but it had to be pretty cheap. So to get to that number,
so if they were 10
cents, of movie
that
watching.
Means
Come on, math guy.
I know.
27 million people went to see it if it was 10 cents, which we weren't. I don't know what the population of the U.S. was then, maybe 100 million, 150 million. So that's a pretty good showing.
Yeah,
Yeah, you would
I
think.
say so.
I don't have much to compare it to.
I think that's a lot, especially for then. But I mean, I see why. It is a quality movie. And I know back then people used to just go hang out in the movie theaters.
For the air conditioning.
At least that's what my grandmother used to
Yeah.
tell me growing up.
More
That she would
repeat
stay there
use.
all day. Yeah, all day Saturday.
Yeah, and they mentioned this film was released in the summer, even though it was a Christmas movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
they're trying to stay cool in the summer.
It
Yeah.
was partly because the studio didn't believe in the picture. Is that part of it?
I don't know. I don't know why they did it that way.
Well, I think it's really cool that they used, because I just learned this today, the real Macy's parade in the movie. I thought they were like all extras. And I didn't realize that was an actual parade that was going on when they were filming. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, if those were extras, it would have been like,
So many.
I don't know, 30,000 extras.
There were a lot of people in that
Yeah.
parade. I did read something about how cold it was that year. So the actors were really bundled up and were very cold out on the street. But then there's the part of the cast is on the street in the freezing cold. And then part of the cast was in the window just enjoying the heat indoors. So I think there was a bit of a rivalry there between who got to be comfortable that day during the shoot.
Yeah. So what did you think of the ages, Parker? Were you trying to figure out her age during that film?
I think 6 or 7. She looks 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she did an awesome job playing this role because she just has the look of a curious child, but yet a very mature. She handles herself very maturely. So,
I mean, it's so expressive. Her face in this the whole
Oh,
time.
yeah, we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
But anything else in the numbers stick out? What about the Academy Awards?
Yeah, I mean, that all tracks. I'm going to have to see Gentleman's Agreement now.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, well, if that beat it, I'll probably like it.
It was pretty perfect, yeah.
Do many holiday films win Best Picture? Are there any?
None win Best Picture. This one didn't either.
Right, but close.
None even come close. That's why this film is ranked so high in our, even though it's not popular, quote unquote, it is so well made. And when the list was coming together, it kept coming up high. And then even when I mentioned that we were doing this to Scott a year ago, he's like, oh, I want Miracle on 34th Street. That is such a good movie. And I knew it was. And I had a couple of guests along the way either mention it or say that it was their favorite. And there were people I respect. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking forward to it. And it lived up to it. Because I like the older ones, but some of them drag on not pleasantly or less pleasantly than this one did. And so this one was a bit of a slow burn, but you're just drawn in to every little emotion the whole way. So, okay.
Just the fact that it won 3 Academy Awards says something.
Yeah, it puts it above everything else as far as critical acclaim.
I agree.
Unless It's a Wonderful Life. We'll find out about that one.
What year was that one? Do you know? I was just thinking, how many movies from the 40s am I still watching? There's not many.
We have 8 in our countdown from the 40s, which is really weird. But It's a Wonderful Life was 1946, so the year before this. So we'll see. It's coming up. It's ranked higher.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it deserves it.
Okay. So Jamie, next.
All right, we'll move on to the setting. So just like the other films during this time, they're not elaborately decorated with Christmas stuff because, again, they even talk about it in the movie, commercialism. That's not what Christmas is about. But we did see some trees, Christmas trees. And anything else? Do you remember seeing any other Christmas
The
decorations?
opening scene.
You know, I kind of wonder if this is where the black and white, you lose some stuff because the store displays, I think if you were seeing those in color, it would be much more vibrant.
It would pop out at you more for sure.
All the
you're
kids
right.
in line, you know, ready to talk to Santa. I think we kind of miss some of that.
Yeah, remember Kris walks up on the window
Yeah.
to open the film. And that would have been more colorful because it was a window display. And so that was a decoration there.
Yeah, but I think what Scott's talking about is like, you know how they set the scene where Santa is, where the kids go and sit on his lap?
Right.
And they showed that
So many people.
so many times, but the Christmas theme kind of got lost a little because, again, you don't see the colors and it doesn't
You don't see
stand
the red
out.
and green.
I mean,
Doesn't
just
stand
his suit, right?
Yeah, true.
Like he's wearing it for a good part of the movie, but you're not seeing that bright red that you associate with Christmas.
out. Right.
Well, obviously, we have Santa here.
Yes, a
We
good
always
one.
Look for Santa.
The real one.
I mean, this was as real as it gets and very real.
Yes. Wait, did we see snow? Was there snow? It was cold, but we didn't see snow, right?
I don't think so, no.
That might be the only thing that would make this movie better.
You
Would have
think?
been a little snow. Yeah.
Maybe. We only saw fake reindeer. We didn't see the real ones, so.
No mistletoe or carolers or eggnog. Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, it's interesting. The apartments don't have any of the decorations because that's part of the story is that the mother isn't into the fantasy and
Right.
the stories. So nothing in the house, right? It's only at the
Right.
stores.
True.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that surprised me a lot is that, like, the title Miracle, I just feel like makes me associate it with, like, very whimsical, like, the sleigh's gonna be flying and, like, there's gonna be elves or something. So it was, like, interesting to see how it was, like, a lot more realistic than I was expecting.
Right.
True.
But very good.
I don't know what you have on your list, but another fact is the title came late. The movie actually had 4 different titles in the run up to the film being released. And it was all kinds of stuff that wasn't related to miracles or anything like that. I think they had a really hard time figuring out what to call this movie. Like, I think one of the early ones was The Big Heart or something like that. And so there was a few wildly different titles that they used during testing and then finally settled on Miracle on 34th Street kind of at the end.
And it's a cool miracle because it leaves it open to faith, which is neat.
Right.
Like Scott's stories that he wrote. All right. Well, let's go on to the characters and actors. Maureen O'Hara played Doris Walker. She's Irish born. Her real original name was Maureen Fitzsimmons. Changed that name to be more Hollywood. Fit better on a marquee. She appeared in around 25 films, including 5 with John Wayne. And he was quoted as saying that she was his favorite leading lady. And she played the mom part in the original 1961 Parent Trap movie. What do we think of Doris here?
Well, I think she's gorgeous. I think she just portrays this elegant woman playing this role. And I think she did a really good job of kind of being the serious, no whimsical, no imagination at the beginning. I mean, she comes around to it at the beginning, but then she goes into the conference room with all the men. You know, she's the only woman. So she's kind of, in a way, progressive, I guess, for that time period. But yet she's still very feminine. And I feel like she plays the double role there very well.
Yeah. I just love the way, especially her and, like, a lot of other people in this film, like, the way they talk just, like, feels old to me.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so, like, I don't know. It's like an ASMR. Like, it's so nice to listen to all them speaking.
Yeah, it's interesting because she's Irish, but I guess you couldn't hear an Irish
Yeah.
accent.
Right.
She blended with the New Yorkers.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, that's a bit more of the. Sorry, I did all this research.
That's
But
great.
that was part of the story, too, of the making of it. She was Irish. Ireland was going through terrible times at this point, and she was not going to be making movies at this moment, but she got the script and loved it and then moved to New York to do the film. But that wasn't her intention. I think the script was so good, you know, as proven out by Best Original Screenplay Awards. So that's a little bit about her backstory. I don't know more than that. But she was amazing. Yeah, plays the role perfectly. Obviously somebody that had been through things before the story starts, right? Like, you can piece together why she is the way she is based on an early divorce, which, you know, very taboo at the time. So they just mention it for a second. But now you understand why she's raising her daughter to not believe in things, which essentially means don't believe in people because they're going to let you down. And
Yep.
so she obviously had been through it and is now, like you were saying, very much in a male-dominated business world and stands up for herself and is like such a strong figure because she's trying to show that to her daughter. And so it's a really like serious topic, but handled in such an elegant way that it's not heavy-handed. And you can just see her daughter's like, you know, she's following in every step, right? The way she looks at her mom is like the ideal.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I agree. In 1947, to have her in that role that way, while developing her character just thoroughly enough, you know what's going on, without being didactic about here's her little lesson, you know, just here's what it is. She's a divorced mom and this is what she's doing. And she's doing the best she knows for her daughter.
Right.
Our next actor and character John Payne plays Fred Gailey. John Payne started out as a stage actor, and he had odd jobs to support himself, including time as a boxer. He was also a wrestler. He was a Juilliard school-trained singer and a U.S. Army pilot trainer in World War II. And he went on to appear in over 60 films. So what do we think of Fred, the attorney?
I mean, he's classic Hollywood leading man, right? He's not at the top of that list of who you think of, but I mean, he fits that mold very well. You know, tall, handsome guy.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I feel like this is kind of just a me thing. I can never remember the names of any of the characters. And it's like so many of the guys, because they dress like the same and they do their hair the same. I'm like, this is all the same person.
It's hard.
I don't even know.
There's a deep cast here. We don't go that deep. But I agree. It's like, okay, how do we differentiate? Especially once we start to get into the judge and his advisor, and then the DA and all these other characters with suits in black and white with the same hair. I'm just like, I don't know where we are.
Right.
If they would show a person out of context, just a screenshot of them, sometimes I'm like, okay, no, what are they doing? Who are they? So, yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really true. They're all wearing the same clothes. I mean, it's 99% white people. They all look the same.
And it doesn't help that it's black and white. So it's like
for sure.
everything's the same.
No facial hair except for Kris Kringle.
Yeah, he's got a bit.
So there's no differentiating that way. Yeah, I felt like he was really the catalyst for everything because he got the daughter to engage the mother in what if maybe this could be real. And that got it all going, really. Without him, Kris Kringle doesn't get that far without him as far as his career and then the story of the romance.
Right, which was very nice because it truly is about the girl next door or the guy next door because they lived in the same apartment next door to each other.
Yeah, there was some familiarity because a funny scene that we all laughed at it early on was he knew of her.
Yes.
And wanted to find a way to meet her and very clearly used the daughter to make that happen. And it was so upfront about it. It just said it right out. It was so funny. But so there was a little bit before, the movie starts. So there's some interaction that they've had. They clearly have noticed each other.
Right.
Yeah, I think sometimes I mentioned this while we were watching what Scott's talking about there. Like sometimes people might appreciate that transparency. He was playing games, but he was honest about it and what his motives were. He liked her, and he wasn't going to pretend that he wasn't using the daughter a little bit to approach her. Yeah, break the ice.
No, I found his character very charming, and I thought he did a great job. I liked it.
And he had a good heart.
Yeah.
I mean, he saved Kris Kringle in the end, which, hey, saved the world. Without that,
Absolutely.
what are we doing now?
Yeah, put his career on the line.
That's right.
Yeah.
To do what he believed was right. And that's what you want from your movie stars, right?
That's right.
I mean, Buddy the Elf owes a lot to Fred Gailey. Let's just say that right here.
Hot take already?
I don't know if that's even hot. That's true. All right. Clearly, our next character is Susan Walker, played by Natalie Wood. Natalie Wood was a 3-time Academy Award nominee. She's probably most known for her Best Supporting Actress role in 1955's Rebel Without a Cause, alongside James Dean. And notably also, she married actor Robert Wagner twice. And then died in 1981 at the age of 43 in a drowning accident in the Pacific Ocean. It was a big news story. I was a little kid. I kind of remember this. And it was somewhat suspicious, and people wondered if there was any nefarious activity going on. So how do we feel about Susan? They called her Susie a lot.
Yeah. Okay, well, I didn't know all that. That's kind of sad, but her character...
Sorry to bring it down.
Yeah. Her character was, so fun. I feel like a lot of the kids in this movie got, the best lines, and they're all, so likable, and maybe it's just because they're kids, they don't really have to be as serious, but they're all just so funny, and you can really see, her character progression through it, how she's, breaking out of, this very, straight line thinking and everything, so super fun. She brought so much life to the movie.
I totally agree. I like the way that at times she was so serious for a child, but then she still had her playfulness would come out of her when Fred would get her to imagine that she was a monkey. Is that what they're trying to imagine? And she's trying to do it. And she's trying to get it right with her mouth and scratching herself. And I thought she played this character very well. Because at times she seemed like a little adult. And then you realize, wait, but she's still got that little kid in her.
When she's on screen, you can't help but watch everything she's doing. I mean, her face, I mean, she's doing more with her eyebrows, I think, than most actors are doing in a scene. I mean, she just controls how everyone else is feeling, it seems like, in the scenes that she's in.
I think it's very believable that Maureen and her could be mother-daughter because they kind of looked alike. I mean, again, it's black and white, so you don't totally see the color features that they have, but it's very believable that that could be her daughter.
Definitely good casting.
Good casting, yeah.
She's adorable. And
Yeah.
like you all said, speaking with her eyes so well and just moving her face and delivering her lines. As Parker said, she was set up well, and then she delivered. I mean, you could see that she was the real deal and that she wasn't just going to be a child star unless she only wanted to just be a child star. She was that good.
Well, I loved how she had to blow a bubble every night before she went to bed and then took out her gum.
It's saving the gum.
Saving the gum in the little drawer to her bedside table. But before she took it out of her mouth, she blew a bubble every night. I was like,
I know.
That's so sweet. I don't know. I like it.
Parker, have you ever seen anyone do that before with their gum?
That's wild. I have seen people like chew gum, like put it in the wrapper, eat something, and then put it back in, and that's just so gross. Like, I can't. And her putting it in a little box too, it's like, oh my gosh. She has a whole setup.
And you know it has no flavor left.
Oh,
Like, why
it's
are
gonna,
you even
like,
doing
dissolve.
that? I know.
Awful.
All right, next we'll move on to Edmund Gwenn. He plays Kris Kringle. He's British, and he keeps his British accent for the most part. Started as a stage actor, and he went on to appear in around 120 films. In addition to his Best Supporting Actor Oscar for this film, he was also nominated for his role in Mr. 880 in 1950, and I've never heard of that film. What did we think of Kris Kringle?
I love him. I think it's such good casting. Like, I feel like he's very jolly, which I feel like is like the main defining feature of Santa. So he was very fun, and you could just like tell all the joy that he had while doing it. I just loved him.
Yeah, he's fun, but also he's got a little violent streak to him. Like, I mean, I know some of the movie hinges on a moment where he actually hit somebody else with his cane, and that's sort of when things go south. But even at the beginning of the movie, there's a scene, and how this all gets started is he sees a Santa getting ready to do the Macy's parade. That Santa is hammered and is not going to be able to live up to what Kris Kringle believes the Santa should be. And he is pissed. I mean, he's like marching up and down trying to make sure this guy gets replaced. And he really goes after them. I don't really mean violent in that case, but he's aggressive.
Passionate, he might say.
Passionate. We'll stick with that. He's like, shameful. Everybody's shameful. He really gives it to him.
Yeah, he was extreme. Either you were doing the right thing and he would laud you for that, or you were off course and he would call you out for that, just like that psychologist. He went after him. So he was almost childlike in that he had no filter, and he would just say it and act upon it and not pull himself back like a sane adult, even though he was a sane adult.
Well, I agree with Parker. He had a little twinkle in his eye at times that, you're like, oh, maybe he's just Santa. That's why he's acting that way. And maybe that's why he's so passionate, because he's standing up for what he believes in, and how the other hammered Santa was disgracing him. Like, that's a disgrace. That's not how Santa is at all. Very passionate guy.
Right.
Yeah, they literally were pulling the clothes off of the other Santa so that he could wear.
He passed out on the seat, and they start unbuttoning his jacket. I'm like, wow, okay.
Right there.
Chris needed that suit so he could step in the parade.
That's right.
Yeah, but to Parker's point about the excitement of believing in Christmas and that whole mindset was the talk he had with the kid in the locker room. There's a young man who also will occasionally play a Santa Claus role, and you could tell he was doing it for the right reasons. And our Santa Claus here was so proud of this kid and seeing that he was doing things for the right reasons. Really strong anti-capitalist statements in this movie. But yeah, that's where the joy is like when he's identifying common beliefs with somebody else.
Yeah. So I'll mention one last character, the Honorable Judge Henry Harper, played by Gene Lockhart. He's Canadian born. And part of the reason I'm mentioning him because his filmography says over 300 films. Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We haven't seen that in a while, but I think in the 30s, when you were captive to a studio, you might make 2 or 3 films a month, or at least appear in them, maybe not as a star. And so he was probably part of that era, but 300 films. If anyone hits 100 films nowadays, that would be huge.
Okay, well, talking about facial expressions, I mean, as they're going back and forth in the courtroom trying to decide if he's the real Santa or not, I mean, just the looks and the wide-eyed that he would give, we were all laughing. I mean, it was good. It was classic there with the facial expressions.
For sure. Act 3, he owns.
Yeah, true.
It's great.
Yeah, I'm glad you put him on this list because there's a lot of other roles that you mentioned. But he steals the end of this movie. He's so funny. He just wants out of this situation so bad. He does not want to be the judge that declares that Santa Claus isn't real, and he just wants any way out, even though he believes he needs to do his job and sit in that seat and move the process along. But man, his face just kills me every time. He's so funny.
Yeah, I feel like he says so much more with his face than he ever does in his lines. Like, he really doesn't say that much in the movie, but, like, it'll just cut to him sitting there, and it's like, we know what you mean. We understand.
Yeah, we could see the struggle was real, right? His struggle.
Yeah, just his whole relationship with his political advisor going against the advice. Then he's in the pickle, can't get out of it. The interaction with his wife and his grandkids, where the grandkids shun him because he is putting Santa on trial.
Right.
Oh, yes.
All of that.
Yeah.
And he was relieved. You could see every time that there was a breakthrough in Kris Kringle's direction, he was relieved because he's like, okay, I might be off the hook here. I might be off the hook. And I think he was actually happy when they threw all that mail on his bench.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he could then go get reelected.
Right.
Gave him an out.
Yeah.
And one last comment about Gene Lockhart, who played the judge. In 1938 version of A Christmas Carol, he played Bob Cratchit. And we covered the 1984 version of A Christmas Carol at number 11 in our holiday film countdown. So just a callback there.
Okay.
Does anyone have any other characters or minor characters that they just want to bring up before we move on?
I do. Who was the guy, the little boy?
Oh,
It was
Tommy.
like the junior? Yeah.
You're thinking of Tommy.
Yes.
Thomas Jr.
He's so funny. He, like, owned that entire time. Like, I love him.
Just the way he waved to his
It
dad.
was amazing. He, like, couldn't move his fingers all the way, but he was trying so hard.
I love in that court scene that you're talking about, Parker, how he's dressed like adult. Like, you know, back then there were no like little kid clothes, right? They just dressed in adult clothes that were smaller. And when they pick him up to put him over onto the stand, it's just so cute. He's in his little
Suit with shorts.
Yeah, little shorts, but he had his jacket on and he was very official and
With
you know.
dress shoes and knee socks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was so happy to be there.
Oh, he was. He was like, I'm doing my part here.
Darling, you know the difference between telling the truth and telling a lie, don't you?
Everybody knows you shouldn't tell a lie, especially in court.
Do you believe in Santa Claus?
Sure I do.
And what does he look like?
There he is, sitting over there.
I object, Your Honor. Overruled. Tommy, why are you so sure there's a Santa Claus?
Because Daddy told me so. Didn't you, Daddy?
I do believe your daddy, don't you?
Sure I do. Daddy wouldn't tell me anything that wasn't so. Would you, Daddy?
Thank you, Tommy.
Bye, Daddy.
I love that part. That was one of the 2 funniest parts. So, to me. Any other minor characters, Scott?
Well, I mean, similar to that one was the little Dutch girl. I mean, that's such an important moment. That scene was really cute. But one of the most important guys, now I can't remember his name, the antagonist, the fake psychologist, is so aggravating, but really plays a key role. Sometimes you got to have the guy that's just like adding to the stress and
Yeah,
it
you need
really,
him to
I
keep
mean,
the
does
story
shape.
going.
Yeah. Without him, probably everybody's just happy and there's not really a drama at the end here.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone whose head was shaped like that, like a real
Seriously.
cartoon.
I was
That
thinking
was a
the same
cartoon
thing.
face all the
Yeah.
way, cartoon profile, everything, right?
It was very long. Like front to back, his head just kept going. But it was short. It was very strange. He was real mean. But you got to have those guys. You know, like we were saying, a lot of the other characters all kind of blended together. The prosecutor, all these other guys, they're all good, but no real standouts.
Right. Okay, Parker, do you have a best scene or most memorable scene?
I feel like we definitely already talked about this a little bit, but when Susie is like pretending to be a monkey, it's
Yeah.
so cute. Like that's like the scene that I really felt like, okay, she's like letting go. She's like really acting like a quote unquote like kid now. And it was just so funny to see her like staring at herself in the mirror trying to like get it right. It's very cute.
I agree. I think that really shows her character because, I mean, I work with 6-year-olds and they know how to act like animals. I mean, in a playful way. Like they never second guess the way they're acting. They just know they're doing it right. If I were to have a play and they were going to be animals, I mean, I guarantee you, like half my class would stand up and do it and know that they were doing it perfect. So for her to feel like, okay, she's trying to get it right. She's looking in the mirror. Then she forgets to scratch like a monkey. Like it just really showed the character of who she was trying to play, of someone who never imagined, because
Yeah.
most kids have a huge imagination, right? And so to me, by her acting like that, looking in the mirror, just was really proving the fact that this kid really does not use her imagination.
That's interesting. I didn't think about it like that. Like she's kind of trying to like teach herself
Right.
how to be imaginative.
Right.
But yeah, that was such a good scene.
And it just comes so natural to most kids.
Yeah, I like that she was kind of not good at it.
Yeah, yeah. It proves the point,
She
right?
was kind of awkward. And
Yes.
I think that does go to her actual acting ability is
Yep.
to act poorly in that scene. It's great.
I agree.
Do you have a favorite scene, Scott?
I'm trying to narrow it down. There's a bunch that I really like. An early one that I really love that I think we mentioned for a second is when Susie is trying to get her mom to invite Mr. Gailey over for Thanksgiving dinner. And she's really pushing and Gailey's like, oh no, I couldn't do that. But he clearly wants to. And then she finally breaks and says, didn't I ask all right? And it's just perfect. I mean, it's so cute because clearly he was telling her, hey, invite me for dinner when your mom gets here. And they just play that so perfectly. It's just delightful.
They do. It's like the innocent of her not realizing he would not want her to say that
Yeah.
in front of the mom. It's just this sweet little innocent time. And you're like, oh, a little uncomfortable. But Fred played it off very well. Again, with his full transparency.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Okay, I have to say that I like the part where Santa is telling the moms where to go to find their toys because as a mother, I've been in this situation where one of my children, or maybe all three of them, have asked Santa for things and, feeling that pressure to find those things. So I thought that was such an interesting scene where he has a catalog and he's like, oh, you can find that at, and he's telling them the stores where the moms can find the toys, even though he's Santa, which is a little interesting to me because isn't he going to bring those? Because I mean, I definitely heard more than once when my children were little that, don't worry, Mom, you don't have to worry about it. I'm going to ask Santa for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this Santa is more pulling the strings to help out the parents be Santa and not necessarily be Santa himself.
Absolutely.
It's really interesting because I'm kind of curious about the evolution of what we think of as Santa and like where they were in the 40s. Because they definitely talked about reindeer. There's no mention of elves or anything like that or like how he sort of operates. I feel like that's evolved over time. But that whole scene,
Yeah.
like,
Where were we then as far as that magic of the proliferation of elves making millions of toys and then the reindeer somehow zooming around?
right, because we're in the days leading up to Christmas Eve, and he's just hanging out in New York.
Right.
Right.
He's not in a rush to make sure the elves are on track.
But he couldn't go to dinner because it was Christmas
He
Eve.
takes a few hours off.
That's right.
It doesn't really say what he's doing. He's like, oh, it's Christmas Eve. I'm busy.
Yeah, I can't.
But that whole scene that you're talking about is really so great because throughout the first like third or half of the movie, they keep dropping little nuggets to help you believe that he really is Santa, right?
Right.
So the alignment of the reindeer in the opening scene, you're like, all right, what's going on with this guy? And then he's just doing good things about, like, he knows where all the toys are. And then he speaks Dutch to the little girl. Mm-hmm. And so they just keep giving you these little nuggets. And he's like,
So well
like,
written.
how do I feel about this guy? Because you're still figuring it out.
Right.
And that's just a great one. It's just showing him a big heart. And he's got the little notebook, so he knows where all the toys are and who's got what.
Yeah, I was just sitting there the whole time thinking, I see why this film won the Oscar for Best Original Story and Best Screenplay. Because they pieced it together so well, as Scott mentioned, all these hints. And they kept multiple storylines going parallel very cleanly. It was easy to follow. It had enough complexity to keep you interested. And it had all the elements that they mentioned in the trailer as far as being romantic, cheery, funny.
Well, I have a question. What was with the eyebrow, like,
I was wondering about
fooling
that
with
whole
the
time.
eyebrow hair or something?
I think that was just to show how stressed he was.
It was a nervousness, like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, like sometimes I twist my hair. So maybe it was like he was trying to
It was
pull
a
on his
very,
eye.
to me, it was, this is a very deeply unhappy person, and he's taking out his unhappiness on everyone around him. Like, he clearly hates his wife. You know, he had a 3-second interaction on the phone with her, and it was just mean.
Yeah.
And
then he has to get her drunk.
This is a manifestation of just his
Stress.
stress and his anger, and he just takes it out on all these other people.
Yeah.
Okay. I just found that so odd. I've never seen that before. Like,
And it was nonstop.
right?
I mean, they didn't have to do it at every scene, but he just kept doing it.
So y'all mentioned my favorite scene already, or the one that really propels the rest of the story, which is the Dutch girl when Susie sees him speaking Dutch so fluently to this little girl. But a scene I really love is the opening when they're setting up for the parade, because they're doing a few good things there. They're showing you New York and the grandeur of the parade and what Macy's is about, but they're introducing the characters without telling you what they are. They're showing you, I guess, how they all interrelate, and they're going up to the floats and they're showing people in costumes and giving you a feel for who Doris is being in charge. And then just that whole Kris Kringle interaction with the drunk Santa and how that all plays out and leads into his role. I like that scene, aside from the other favorites that you all have mentioned.
Yeah, there's a lot.
A lot to it.
You know, it's funny. I said earlier that I thought this movie was sort of slow and not really in the modern version of how quick things move. But there's not a lot of wasted space. Like every scene does something. Each scene is good, and it just moves from scene to scene. So maybe the cuts aren't as fast, the energy is like lower, but the story moves along pretty quick.
The only part where I said, okay, I can go get a beer now, was when they're singing. I think when Susie's singing with an adult. What was that? And it goes on for like 45 seconds. Do you remember that? And then y'all even talked about the song. Or was it a nursery rhyme?
Oh, it was the nursery rhyme. Yeah.
That part.
Yeah. Jiggity jig.
Oh, yeah.
Scott knows it.
No, it was the...
Home again,
Okay.
home again, jiggity
Something
jig.
about going to the market to get a pig.
To market, to buy a fat pig. To market. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the part where you could maybe step out for 30 seconds. Besides that, you don't really want to miss a beat here because something's happening the whole time. It's very efficient.
True.
96 minutes, tight.
Yeah.
All right, best lines or quotable lines. Anyone have any quotes they want to bring back?
Did you have any?
I don't really have any. There's like one line that I remember. It was just like Susie like talking about someone being fat. It was like, some people are unusually large, but that's abnormal or something like that. At like the very beginning.
When they were talking about giants and whether they existed?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, yeah, and they brought up Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't know if that's really a quotable line, but it's what I remembered.
Okay.
It stuck with you.
Yeah.
'Cause there was a little fat shaming going on in this movie.
There was. The
There
one
was.
questionable line that you wouldn't say now was,
You might be guilty of one thing, and that's overeating. Was it Albert, the boy who played Santa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Albert.
It was said to him.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, Santa Claus said that to him.
That was the only thing that you could be guilty of at age 17 was maybe overeating.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
You only kind of get away with it because the kid had just said that about himself. That's why he got the Santa suit, was because
Right.
he was a bigger kid.
Yeah, he said that.
He
right.
said that, but
Yeah.
Santa didn't need to
No.
rub that in. That was mean.
It was.
I do think my favorite quote was the one I already said, where Susie goes, "Didn't I ask all right?" The way she said that was just so funny to me. But another line that had a good pop in the scene was at the trial when they put Santa on the stand. They only ask him a couple questions, but they're like, "What's your name?" And they say, "Where do you live?" And he says, "That's what this hearing will decide."
Yes.
It's just a nice, clean. It's not super clever, but it's perfect delivery, and it shows that he's a sane person, but also has a sense of humor, and the audience kind of has a fun reaction to that.
That was very clever writing.
I think mine is when they're trying to decide if he's for real or if he's crazy. And it is, well, maybe he's only a little crazy, like a painter or a composer.
I remember that line. That's good.
It's like, oh my gosh. Like, it's okay if he's just a little crazy, because then he could be creative. That was so funny.
I'm so glad you said that. That actually was the one I had written down to say, and I couldn't see it in my notes.
Oh, okay.
What a funny line.
I know. Well, because we all have a little bit of a craziness to us, right? That was so funny.
Yeah. Scott, you took mine. Did I ask all right when they were setting up the dinner? That was just so well done. And like you said, Natalie Wood pulls it off so well. Acting dumb, acting. I guess that's what that is.
Yeah, just a little ignorant to the fact that she shouldn't say that like, a typical kid would do that, just not knowing, right? Wanting to be praised for what she did right. All right, well, let's move on to the moral of the story. What do you think the moral of the story is?
I feel like I'm in ELA class right now. I feel like it was a lot about just like faith, I guess, or like just believing and not having to have all the facts straight. I don't know, yeah. A lot about that. And then also like capitalism is kind of like an underlying
It was.
thing. But yeah.
I mean, I think that's dead on. I mean, it's about having belief, even when it may not make perfect sense to you. It's just a better way of living, to live a little, be free, be imaginative. Things aren't always going to work out, but, keep believing and maybe it'll turn around. And capitalism is bad, but also buy lots of toys at the other store, which still seems like capitalism.
Just like a different font.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what came to my mind too, is faith, right? I mean, the whole trial was kind of about having faith
We heard that word a lot.
in him, right? Believing something that you can't necessarily, it's not black and white. You can't totally prove it, but you just kind of know it in your heart. And to me, that's faith. And yes, the capitalism thing was definitely an underlying theme here.
Yeah, especially since it's like an OG product placement situation where you've basically almost got Macy's titling this movie a real business, and yet they're kind of going that way, like, and commercialism, or over commercializing the holiday and making it about something other than the people and the spiritual. Definitely.
Yeah, they show a lot of scenes at the business, right? Like you'd have Mr. Macy and then his advertising guys. So there was a lot of, the inner workings kind of capitalism and how they even try to profit off the goodwill. But it was all done in sort of a light, funny way. I mean, it's interesting, like you said, that Macy's is the real store, right? It's the Macy's Thanksgiving parade. It's the real store. Gimbel's was a real store. So these are all real things. But when it came time to do the remake, they didn't use any of the real stores. They had to put fake ones because at that point, the stores don't want to be associated with that message anymore. So they pulled out and wouldn't license the actual names. So the sequel's just like random made up names.
Okay.
So you could get away with it back in the day. Or maybe they realize there is value in it. Like, even if you're poking fun at yourself, it's still better to be in the movie than not.
And
That's what I would think.
net $2 million, which is $35 million in current times in the process. So the message is a little contra to reality, where I'm sure 20th Century Fox was happy about the way it turned out.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, hot takes. Do we have any hot takes here?
I have a medium hot take. I'm not sure if this is going to make sense. But
All right.
here's my hot take is that this movie, I think, contributed somewhat to me having a very basic misunderstanding of what Christmas was or what Christmas is. I grew up in a completely non-religious household, and Christmas is the most like Christian holiday, but that doesn't appear in a lot of movies, and like it's not mentioned in this movie at all that there is actually a religious. The whole thing is based on a religious thing, right?
Right.
And so when I was a kid, I loved Christmas. I loved these movies. And I remember very vividly once in a class, I was probably third, fourth grade or something. Maybe, God, I hope I was younger. But somebody said something about Christmas and God or Jesus or something. And I was like, what does that have to do with that at all? Like, what are you talking about? And everybody looked at me and they're like, what is wrong with you?
Right.
This is the birth of Jesus. And I had no idea. I just didn't put it together at all. And so I don't know exactly what the hot take is, other than you guys have messed me up. I did not know what Christmas was based on. I thought it was about toys, number one, family, and getting a bunch of days off of school. And so
Yeah.
I blame the movies.
Well, we've done close to 50 films, and very few have a religious element to them. Some do little bits here and there. But I remember being a kid and seeing like Keep Christ in Christmas on grocery bags when I was a kid, and just stopping and thinking about that. So it kind of goes to your point about commercialization and where holidays go. So
It never occurred to me that those words were connected. It's right there.
Well, you're
Yeah.
a child. You have to be told. I mean, interesting.
you have any hot takes?
Okay, well, here's my hot take. I don't totally believe this, but I'm going to say it. Okay, I don't believe he was Santa. I think he was just a delusional, sweet old guy. I mean, in that front window, those reindeer were all the same. Okay, they were not different in any way. They all looked exactly the same. Yet he's saying, no, you're mixing them up. You're not putting them in the right order. And I think in his head, he really believed that, but we could clearly see there was no order to it. They all looked exactly the same. Do I think he wanted to do good? Yes. Do I think he had a little dementia coming on? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But nevertheless, I don't think that's wrong of him in any way. But that's my hot take.
Okay. Following on Jamie's hot take, and I just thought of this. So I'm going to say that probably Christmas Eve, he was going to be the drunk Santa. And beyond that, my hot take is that the movie Bad Santa has origins in this film from that drunk Santa we saw on the float.
100%.
And by the way, Parker, I hope you haven't seen that film.
I have not.
That is great.
Don't.
Next weekend.
All right. Well, we'll move on to the parent guide. And this is before they were really rated. They were just approved or not approved. And this one was approved.
No surprise.
Any question about that?
What's a parent guide?
So, like if it's PG or
okay.
R or PG-13.
Okay. That makes
Whatever
sense.
it's rated.
They didn't have the rating system
They didn't have
that we have
ratings
now.
back then.
So they would just say it's approved or not approved.
Okay.
Clearly approved.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that
there's
makes a
no
lot of
age,
sense.
right, that this would not work
Yeah,
for.
I can't think of.
Would you be comfortable watching this with your parents?
I mean, I just did.
Okay, good.
So, yeah, I would
You
be.
seem to enjoy it fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, it's obviously fine. There was like one slight mention where you could kind of go where you want with it of, is he talking about some sort of drugs? Because there was something about getting weird images in your head. And he was
Oh,
like, well,
yeah.
imagination, or there's other ways.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, Santa, are you doing LSD? What
Yeah.
is this?
I caught that too.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
then also,
it's very wholesome.
he's telling the moms where to go get the gifts when he's supposed to get them.
Yeah.
yeah. So for
I'm-
little kids.
As a child, I don't know what you would
Yeah,
how
like
you
it-
would take that.
Like
But
under 8, probably not, because it gets confusing a little bit.
I don't know.
Or some kids get parent gifts and also Santa gifts.
Yeah, or maybe it would
So,
just go right over their head and
you know.
it wouldn't
Yeah.
matter.
I could probably say that, like, as soon as you start actually, like, the age where you start actually thinking out how Santa, like, would work is kind of the age you stop believing in it at all. So I feel like this would work no matter what for, like, anyone.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's true. And honestly, your hot take is correct in that he's not really Santa, but he's doing his best to help these kids get what they want. And telling mom where to get
Yeah.
the toy, that's the best that he can do.
He's playing the Santa role
He's playing
in the
Santa
world.
role. Exactly.
Yeah, and I would also say that the smoking part nowadays would be a little bit of a warning, but still, it's G-ish. It's probably a G movie.
Yeah, right in bed too.
Yeah, that's a fire hazard too. All right, and the soundtrack, not much to it, mostly instrumental. The only vocals I heard were the drunk Santa singing Jingle Bells. We had God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen and Santa Claus is Coming to Town toward the end. And I think that was a pretty new song then. So, any comments on the soundtrack? Did we even notice it?
I like that it wasn't like words. Like the instrumental kind of made it feel like older to me. And like it's not really nostalgic because I wasn't alive, but like what I imagine nostalgia would be like for that. And it also like didn't pull any focus. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, pretty quiet movie overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was working hard to find some soundtrack material for this.
Okay, Parker, rate this film 1 to 5. And remember, it's a 3.8 on Letterboxd and you can use decimals.
Okay. I haven't seen a whole lot of Christmas movies, but I would definitely say this is the better half, better quarter probably.
All right.
I'm going to give this a 4. Yeah. Pretty
Okay.
good.
All right. And Scott, how would you rate this film? 1 to 5. Decimals allowed.
I mean, what are we doing here? This is a perfect movie. Like, I don't know how many movies get 5s, but I mean, this is why you make movies. This is a 5.
All right. 5 for Scott. I agree. Very good. Jamie?
Okay, I'm going to give it a 4.5. Don't throw things at me. Stop
Gonna
it.
hit you with a cane.
I know, stop it. I feel like the title is a little misleading. I feel like a little bit of the character depth is not there as far as we don't see the relationship between Doris and Fred. And then all of a sudden they're buying a house together. And I don't even know if he went over there for dinner one time and now I don't know. I just feel like there was a little bit of gapping or holes between that relationship. And then also in the courtroom, I felt a little like that as well.
And you go to the romance, and you felt like the romance wasn't that complete as far as bridging from them
Well, we went
being
from
interested to buying a house.
asking you over for Thanksgiving dinner to buying a house together.
They had a whole month.
Guess he moves pretty quick. I mean, he is charming. I did say that, and I do agree with that. But wow, that's a lot of charm.
It's definitely of the era. My grandparents got
True,
married after
true.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, and that was in that same time frame. So I'm going to let it slide.
Okay.
My rating is definitely on a time-based curve.
Okay.
And it worked out for your grandparents.
It did.
See?
Very well.
I know.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to go with a 4.7. I feel like it has all of the elements we're looking for. Romance, comedy, heart,
Don't forget groovy.
groovy. So it sets somewhat of a template for future films. I feel like the modern holiday films draw from it quite frequently. And it has a special place. And I wish it was more out there in the world, being seen more often by more people.
Okay, and I think we already said who we recommend it. We said it was for everyone.
I mean, it's an hour and 40 minutes. Just watch it.
Right. It's for
We
everyone.
It's not
all
going to take you all day.
Let's just say that we all recommend it for everyone.
That's right. It's for anyone and everyone. All right, Parker, what is your favorite holiday film?
Okay. So I think the same reason this is my favorite is the same reason I rated this movie a 4, which is just like a sentimental aspect of it. I'm assuming my dad already knows what movie I'm about to say. Is that true?
We'll see.
Okay, well, I'm going to say Elf.
Okay.
Because we watch it every Christmas. It's a classic. It's funny. It's goofy. And I cannot name another Christmas film I've watched. So that's going to be why.
Yeah, you were choosing between two.
Yeah,
films.
it was the one I watched today in Elf. So
All right. So you have a lot of catching up to do.
I have so much catching up to
We
do.
started number
Grinch.
50, and
Yeah.
you can skip a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen Grinch and
Oh,
Christmas
I've seen The Grinch.
Vacation.
That's not my favorite.
No, these are better.
Are you not a home aloner?
Oh, I've seen Home Alone. I saw the first one. It was good. And I've seen The Polar Express.
Well, there you go.
And I hate that movie.
I get it.
That's my hot take.
We hear that. All right, Scott, what is your favorite holiday film?
Man, that's a tough one.
Mom might be upset if you don't say Elf.
Well, it's funny. I wouldn't let that stop me. I actually do think it's Elf. Elf is one that moves so fast from scene to scene. There's so many great lines. There's such joy in it. I've gotten to the point where I think I've seen it too much. So it's not one that I'm dying to see. But man, every time I watch it, I'm just so impressed with how much they pack into that movie. I mean, it's like we've been talking about this one, how it kind of has everything. Elf is a modern version of that. It's similar in a lot of ways. It does everything, and it's really funny. So I'm gonna let Elf take the top, even though there's other sentimental choices. Elf feels newer to me still as an old guy. That feels like the new one, but it's so well made.
All right. Common answer here. Quality. It's coming up.
I hate to go toward the trend, but it's real.
Well, we haven't done it yet, so it's up there. It's top 5. Hey, Scott, is there anything you'd like to promote?
Yeah, check out my podcast. No, I got nothing. Just go to the theater. Get out, do stuff.
What's the theater?
Any theater.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
if you want to come to our theater, Paramount, right downtown, got something for everyone. But just get out, do something. Go paint something. That's what I'll promote. Go paint something.
All right.
Be
Beautiful.
creative and entertained. I like it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for joining this discussion of our 6th ranked film, Miracle on 34th Street. Please like, follow, and comment on this podcast.
Yes, please share and spread the word about Holiday Film Countdown. Thank you, Parker and Scott, for joining us. And thanks to all of our listeners. Next week, we're moving on to our 5th ranked holiday film, which will take us to Homan, Indiana.